Northwest off in the desert. I'm talking about that mental state of flow. When your skill is matched so well to the task at hand that you literally start to suspect you might have a superpower. You with me? You know, in Lean, we talk about waves. And one of those waves is human potential. So if you've been in the zone, if you felt that power, that focus, that engagement, ask yourself how much of your potential are you losing when you engage in a problem without that focus. So engagement. Who here wants to be their own boss or likes the idea of autonomy in their day? Who here wants to master their skills, get better at what they do, and bring up new skills? And how many of us want to belong to something bigger than ourselves? We want purpose in our lives. Well, the psychologists say it's everybody here. And if you want engagement, if you want your human potential, these are the things you need to tend to. And Wescam is no different. You know, a few years ago, we went through a huge growth spurt. We hired the brightest people we could find, and then we stuck them in cubicles. We then shrank those cubicles, hired a bunch more, and threw them on top. And we built a sea of excellence of talented people that just want to stand up and show each other how awesome they are. But something was missing.
So what was it that was missing? For a few years now, Wescam has enjoyed success in the Lean culture. Then a couple years ago, something new came in called L3 Excellence. Basically, L3 Excellence was more than just Lean. It encompassed some of our core values. And those are teamwork, innovation, engagement, and passion. Basically, within engineering, we really wanted to engage our engineers. So what did we do? We had to come up with a special framework. And we did this. We gave them a purpose to really engage them. We wanted to unlock their potential and really fuel innovation. Thus, a program called EDU was born. But what is EDU? Well, EDU stands for Engineering Design University, or Engage, Develop, You. So, what does that look like? Basically, let's use James for example. Young James, he's dreaming about what he's going to do later in life. And he wants to be a computer programmer. So James decides that he wants to do software. Studies hard, goes away to school, gets a degree, and then he gets hired by this great company called Wescam. And then what happens? They shove him in a cubicle, and he starts beavering away on software. But then, James starts to dream. He starts to wonder, is there more out there than just software? And when he looks around, this is an example of our engineering and how we have multiple groups. James is in that software group, but he sees that there's optics, systems, electrical, mechanical. How can I get involved? So, through EDU, James is given the ability to get training from his peers. He can be mentored by someone in mechanical, electrical, doesn't matter. So if he decides he wants to create a schematic, work on a circuit board, or if he wants to spin some CAD models around in SolidWorks or prototype some parts, he can do that. He can be mentored by someone within our own engineering community. All that we ask for in return is that James share his passion and his expertise in software for those in the other departments that want to learn about software. This is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? Well, the purpose, our purpose in EDU is the passionate pursuit of knowledge. We are driven by the mastery of our skills. We are energized by the autonomous nature in which we are allowed to work. What we learn is relevant. What EDU inspires is engagement. What engagement gets you is the ability to unlock the human potential. In terms of the projects we worked on, we had a challenge, a general challenge, to create an autonomous robot to guide its way through a maze following a line. We saw several designs. One was these omnidirectional wheels with a machine vision subsystem that actually found the line involved with it. We had one group made a little hovercraft. We had a couple of designs based on sort of tank track models. The coolest thing is that we had mechanical engineers doing electrical design. We had software engineers printing out 3D parts. Wescam has a number of very humble musicians. And the ones in engineering decided that they would use their autonomy to create a project around designing a vacuum tube amplifier like we're playing today. We came together and we shared our passion, we shared our knowledge. engagement growing. So that's unlocking the potential within this EDU. What's the impact in the real world? Well, we had a very big program. We had all our ducks in a row, we were ready to go. But then at the last minute, one of our vendors dropped the ball. They let us down. They were making a very key piece of equipment, a box that allowed our systems to interface with an aircraft. And they were not going to have it. We were facing a field trial that we had to pass for our customer to accept our equipment, and we did not have a piece of equipment that allowed us to interface. We were out of time. We solved this problem with a very tight team. The person that did the electrical design also wrote the software. We had a manic drive, and we turned a solution in no time. And we did that because we had given them permission to be multidisciplinary and to unlock their human potential. Manic drives are not how you want to run a business, but they are how you want to solve a disaster. And that's what we did. That is a very serious upside of EDU. You know, when we started down this journey of creating EDU, our biggest concern was that we wanted this to be a hit with our people.
So, who here thinks that we were successful? Me? No? Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to prove it to you. So, the only way to prove it to you is through something like metrics. So, for our KPI, we decided that we would use percentage participation in year. So, for our first year, without telling people about EDU, we just threw it out there. Who wants to sign up for this great program? Trust us, you'll like it. But they didn't know what was involved, the time commitment, what they were going to be working on, who their team members were, anything like this. So, in that first year, we had 21% of all engineering sign up to try this, to take it on. And there's roughly about 170 people in our engineering department at Wescam. Basically, after that first year, people got to dabble in other functions. If they were software, they got to do electrical, they got to do mechanical. They got to teach, they got to mentor, they got to coach. They were part of something bigger than themselves. So, was that success? Well, when we asked just recently for people to sign up for year 2, this is the result we got. We doubled our participation. Basically, people were excited about it. They had told their friends. Everyone wanted to get involved. They all wanted to be part of this new and special thing happening in engineering. Lastly, what I'd like to, one more thing here is that it's not just one group. This is the split across all those functional groups. We were able to get right to the base of our engineering organization and address each group's needs. So we have almost equal population. The last thing to leave you with here is all these projects that people were involved with, all the time they devoted, all the mentoring, all the teaching, it was all done on their own time, outside of core business hours. Evenings, weekends, on their lunch. They all wanted to be part of this so much that they devoted their own time. And that, I think, is truly great.
So we become awesome by giving our people the permission to be awesome.